Feedback. Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton.
And I am Thabiti Mpinga.
Inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback.
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
And take us along with you. Feedback, feedback, feedback. And to Don, who you want to say good morning to?
Well, I'm just everybody out there. You know, the HBCU crew. Chef Jeff, Tony, Frank Sorrell, Eric Scott, the barber. All those great guys out there doing great things in the community, and that's what it's all about out here. Brother Reginald Williams in Maryland, who watches when I send him the show, and I got a book here for Brother Calvin Mann today. So, man, all these men out here doing great work. Jabari Jermaine, I talked with him yesterday in Los Angeles. I'm telling you, Miss Broden, feedback, they love the show.
All right, I'm glad to hear that. And our guest this morning,
Mr.
Mark?
Calvin Mann is here, folks, and for those of you who don't know, you're going to learn about this gentleman. Good fathers only, and encourage me, I'm young. I mean, the city is learning about him. They've done pieces on him on all their TV stations, lots of radio stations. I've been working with the guy for a long time. I've known the guy when he started out in the early days, and man, he's been grinding out there because he wants to see us be better people, have better families. So it's going to be a great show.
Wonderful, Calvin Mann. Thank you for joining us. Tell our viewers, who is Calvin Mann?
Well, thank you for having me. I am the product of Reverend Columbus and Ollie Bell Mann. I'm also the product of Reverend Alexander Miller. I'm the product of Reverend Rumsey Mann. So my legacy runs deep within this city and this state. And I'm just someone who woke up in purpose. Mark is telling you the truth. I was didn't have no idea who I was, and I discovered in some of these break rooms where we used to work at Northwest Airlines, and also in the streets, and I discovered who I was supposed to be. After a very successful high school basketball coach. Mm-hmm. And so I followed the purpose, and here we are.
Okay. Tell us about your organization and what it does and its purpose, etc.
So my first organization, Encourage Me, I'm Young, started by me laying shirts with kids who were getting killed in 2004. I started by laying shirts with kids who were getting killed. 2007, I got the first nonprofit, Encourage Me, I'm Young, collaborated with quite a few people and started the journey in helping. So in my first collaboration, we were able to do scholarship fairs and art parties and things like that with Better Detroit Youth Movement. And then I was tapped on my shoulder to go do what I was supposed to do. So in 2008, one of my beginnings was I launched the Good Fathers Only t-shirt, and Good Fathers Only was another one of the things that God had given me because it coexists, the tag. We have things not in order but out of order, and we've had acceptable culture of being out of order versus being in order. And so it was an enlightenment to me. We were at the Dad's Day Out that former mayor used to put on, and I opened up my trunk, and these men were going in my trunk, grabbing the T-shirts out the trunk. And I left there and went to Rouge Park, and it just so happened as I'm walking through Rouge Park, showing a shirt, I come upon 5 young men, and one of the young men started walking away, and he was like, "I'm not a good father." I said, "Hold on," and he started walking away, and he was talking about how much money he owed and things like that. And that was the day that I realized that Good Fathers Only had to be more than just a T-shirt. And so I wanted to rebrand fatherhood. And, you know, the influence of that messaging wasn't just in my hand. I'm sure many people saw the brand, and a lot of people got up and decided to start creating and answering their call when it came to fatherhood, but we just continued to move forward. Good Fathers Only became a nonprofit in 2018 when a friend of mine, John Langlois, and I were up in Oakland County. Oakland County courts and judges and was being introduced. And one day I get a call and John was like, I'm stepping down, I'm walking away. And he said, I'm gonna give you this gift. And lo and behold, Good Fathers Only became his own nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
And so here we are today with a lot of answers. And I can't wait to get into the meat of this conversation.
No doubt, no doubt. And you know, for myself, folks, that's what made me gravitate to Brother Man was the Good Fathers Only organization. And because you know, as black men, we know we have this moniker that somehow society think black men aren't good fathers. So now we got to recreate ourselves to the world and let them know, look, we some of the best fathers out there. So I was doing what was called a Father Appreciation Day every summer in my backyard. I'd have a barbecue, invite a lot of the men out just for a chance for them to be appreciated. Mm-hmm. And that's when me and Man really got together. He had the hats, he had the shirts, and the guys loved them. Because, I mean, getting one was like an honor. If you got a Good Father shirt and you were in the city, people knew you were doing something right. Because everybody is really weird. He had the jackets first. He had these big jackets, leather jacket, leather sleeves, cotton. I bought one of the first jackets because it said Good Fathers on the back. Had the man holding his son. I said, oh, man, this is really great. I'm going to do some things. And the thing about it is people would notice in the community, they're like, you know Calvin Man? Because they knew that was Calvin Man's organization. Mm-hmm. And that's when you realize a T-shirt could take you a lot of places because the message really was the key. It wasn't the shirt, folks. Mm-hmm. It was the message that Good Fathers Only is important. And you know, this man been working on fatherhood, promoting black fatherhood and fatherhood in general for a long time. And he's been doing a lot of things for a lot of different people, a lot of collaborations on there. You know, you deal with a lot of things out there with this Good Father Only piece.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it really just, like you said, grew out of the encourage me, I'm young with the kids piece.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It really did. And it's just like this boy I got on today, Welcome to the Hood, right? And, you know, it's always a different message to jazz up fatherhood because, again, we're out of order. But, you know, first of all, let me thank you, Mark, because you, over the years, out of everybody that's been involved with Good Fathers Only, you remain the only man that continues to send that message across the country from your pockets. You have always been supportive. You stand by what you do what you say you're going to do, and you always come through, man. And I can't thank you enough in this journey. As I was telling my wife, you know, this the guy. You know, he always come through, and that's what he's been doing since we got together. So thank you.
Well, brother, you out there, Miss Broden, this guy does the work. I just do what I can, you know, and that's the point. And, you know, another thing, you said you guys just technically got incorporated in 2018, but you've been building chapters since then.
Yeah, and it's hard to sustain, right? Which is why I really want to get into this conversation, you know, about boys and men, husbands and fathers. Mm-hmm. And because it's hard to sustain based upon the element of they. Like, we take these things way too far about they, and the underline, it's always an underlining process that we could handle, but we are not willing to sacrifice because we keep ourselves in the mindset, a poverty mindset and an individual mindset. And so you have certain levels of culture, right, that goes up. And the higher it goes up, the less comes down.
No, what you mean by that?
Well, the more successful an African American is,
the
less comes down.
I see what you're saying.
Right?
They're not doing more in the community like they should.
We are not looking. Put it this way: I was on the phone with a friend in Denver, and a Caucasian brother went to college with me. Right, one of our contributors. He said, "Can you imagine if all the rich black people decided to share with their culture. I say, could you imagine that? I say, well, it's happening in pockets, and it's happening in business. But is business necessarily giving back? When I see a black business giving to St. Jude's and not encourage me, I'm young.
I see what you say.
It's disturbing to me. When I see a black business give to Susan, the cancer ward,
B. Coleman, right?
Right,
and I get it, you
right,
know, right?
Right, and so that's their choice. Recently, Michael Jordan gave $10 million to another organization. That's his choice,
Right.
Right. But again, you can't use the term "they" if you're not talking about we,
Right.
right? And so, even in the last interview, I said with Channel 7, I said society has this thing where when they see a black male, they don't have it with the black female, they have it with the black male. That his job solely is to just do right where he's at. And so I said to the young lady, I said, let's get this understood about God. Humanity is in trouble. If the men are in trouble,
Right.
then humanity is in trouble.
As the Bible says, the head is sick, the whole body is sick.
Right. And so, but it start. I say so. God gave me this vision for males. Encourage me. I'm young. Is for the world. But you can believe because I am a black male, I'm going to be with black males. That's just where you will find me. But my door and our work is open, as U of M has said, and many other people, that our door is open to other cultures. The problem going forward is you're so conditioned against the black male that any little thing he does must be scrutinized to the T.
Especially if it's negative. That's automatic.
Yeah, yeah. It has to be scrutinized to the T, and that's where we are responsible of changing exactly what it is that we see.
Well, you know, Ms. Broden, I just want to say this brother inspired a lot of people. A friend of mine, Rodney Jones. You know,
That's my brother.
You know, he moved down to Atlanta just from meeting you a few times. Then he started a chapter in Atlanta. Now, how's that chapter down in Atlanta doing?
Well, he's you know, Rodney went on, got his license. He's preaching now. Right?
Oh, okay.
He's in the church and he's doing work with the youth as he always has. He was
Okay.
doing work with the youth at Rosedale, who has really looked out for us. I mean, if it wasn't for Rosedale Park Baptist Church, and here lately, New St. Paul, we would be out on the street. We don't have. We've been putting this work in. With 2 loaves and 2 fishes, brother. You know what I mean? And we've been here now. Encourage me, I'm young. This is our 16th year. Yep. And so that's where we are. But like I said, I'd like to get into the conversation by starting at the boy.
Sure. Those of you who are tuned in, if you want to join the conversation, the number's 313-868-4336. 868-4336 or 868-0351. 868-0351. Go ahead. You wanted to talk about the young males.
Yes. Well, the key, all our work, so Encourage Me, I'm Young, is seeding in the lives of boys to the restoration of family. When we got out here, we were, you know, interested in everything. But we recognized that there was a complete imbalance in the work that was being provided to boys. When we saw that the boys club, the boys club, you know, like they had the girls club, well, the boys club, the Boy Scout became just a scout. Right, that's a dangerous move. Where there were where it was a Boy Scout, it became just the Scouts, while the Girl Scouts still had the Girl Scouts. So we saw them put $12.8 billion in the girls and women's programs, build 2,000 shelters, but nothing into the boys, right? And then we had these initiatives about black men and boys and these different gatekeeping performances within this whole dynamic, and the boy is still in the position that he's in. So one of the points that I wanted to start was the making of a boy, and understanding that the boy, because we don't understand his role when a boy is born. If he's not born in proper condition, he's going to be out of order. So if he's not in a too healthy parent home, right, the boy will be the most denied child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
studies.
right? So beyond just the studies there, we're talking just the makeup, how he's made. Now, because the boy might come into a single parent household, which is, I don't want to get into too much of saying that the single parent household, but the single parent household is a conduit to the system. We don't like to pay attention to that. And then what happens is today, across the board in relationships, we see daily where the conversation shifted. Even in middle school, when we were coming up, the girls got chased to the locker room. Today, the boys get chased to the locker room. We're out of order. So when the boy, who is the natural seed carrier, he carries the seed of life, the boy does. So culturally, when you see the black boy is in trouble unless he is soiled in the right format. So when we get to those points, or the process of the boy, here we have this young boy. The black boy is the most kicked out of education child from daycare to college.
Mm-hmm. They send them to special ed, like 60%.
We settle
right.
for the special ed because we have no idea how to raise him, and how he has been made is a flaw. The DNA of the person who plants the seed, the male seed provider has to be on something other than foolishness. Because we are responsible. You're talking per shot 16 million opportunities for a seed to be captured to bring life. So we're losing. He's denied education, in my opinion, from the womb to college.
Now, you know, they did a piece on you boys on Channel 7. And now what exactly was that program that they focused on? Because I know I saw the young men in the Encourage Me, I'm Young shirts. And what were they exactly doing?
You're talking about our mentoring program.
The mentoring program.
So our mentoring program, Mark, it used to be, what happened was I was working at the juvenile, and while at the juvenile, they were picking up boys to fill up the beds with writs, right? So they was going out because the beds was empty at the juvenile. They were literally creating criminals.
Wow. And that's
so
just what you were just saying.
Yeah. And so I grabbed the microphone, on the radio, where these kids coming from, cussing and screaming. And so I started talking to the kids. You got 20-year-olds, got kids going to work, was snatched off their porch just to fill up this temporary bed.
Wow.
Right? And so, I've seen a lot of things go down in that process. So I got with another brother who passed away a few years back. We got together, and we grabbed 350 boys on the east side. To prevent them from getting involved and being picked up on writs, right? We put together a flyer, and from that, we asked the church to help. Church wouldn't help. They were making the money. We were at Chosen One Realty, Recreation over there off of DeQuinder. We couldn't get no men from the church right across the street.
Wow.
And so we had different people come in. Michigan State came in at that time. They had a mentoring program where
Michigan State University?
Michigan State University,
Okay.
where they would pay a mentor $100 to mentor a kid. When they came in and saw we had all those kids, they never came back. I brought another brother in to work the kids out. He saw them kids, never came back. So in that process, I went and got some of the people I knew, my uncles and different guys and different people, and we started reaching out to other people, and so we formed this little basketball thing, but they had to give us an hour in the classroom. Mm-hmm. Our number one rule was you couldn't use the N-word. we never had one fight. We lost a ton of money. We were paying $65 an hour.
Wow.
For the church. We were only charging the kids a certain amount of money. And so coming across the board, it ended. We were hoping to make 15 weeks. It ended in 14 weeks. And today our mentoring program goes 14 weeks. We recognize the change that we can make in 14 weeks. Mm-hmm. And so our Future Leaders program then began to get built off of 200 until we started asking for information. And so now we have probably the highest parental involvement. Mm-hmm. We have a 98% parental involvement in our mentoring program.
Give them the site where they can look at that right now and look up the site while we on the air.
Emmy World, www.emmyworld.com. You can go on Facebook, type in Encourage Me I'm Young. You'll get a bunch. Go Google, you'll get a bunch.
Do that right now. Check it out.
Give it again.
Once again.
Emmy World, EMIYworld.com.
Yes, as you can see, folks, we got the T-shirt right there out front, so you can see that.
Which we about to relaunch our brand in the for-profit. We put that T-shirt in 7 countries in the United States, and so we about to rebrand our. We were given the advice to move our gear to a for-profit, and we're getting ready to move Emmy Apparel, and we're going to relaunch Emmy Apparel, and we're going to bang that boy right from here.
Okay. That's the perfect chance, Miss Broughton, to go to this break.
Yes. Yes. We thank you all for being tuned in to Feedback, and we want you during this break to get your coffee or orange juice or milk, what have you, and call someone, tell them to tune in and learn about this program and the positive work and good work that's being done. Stay tuned, and we'll be back momentarily.
This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman. I am here to address all of your complaints and concerns. If you need assistance regarding city services, please contact my office at 313-224-6000 or contact us via email at ombudsman@detroitmi.gov. This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman.
You ready to put your podcast on iHeartRadio? Yes, your podcast on iHeartRadio. What about Alexa, Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, Android, or iPhone? Plus live TV streaming. Get your podcast seen and heard all over the world. Call 313-868-6612. Pre-recorded shows are accepted to be archived. This is a WHPR distribution platform. Download the app from the App Store. Go to WHPRTV.com. Channels available for lease 24/7 on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV. Coming soon, subscription and pay-per-view.
Also,
Block Time is available. Get yours. Call 313-868-6612. That's 313-868-6612. Executive producer R.J. Watkins. Program director Henry Tyler. 107.5 FM WGPR HD2. RadioWeCanSee.com.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
All right, everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, you gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime! It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Wallman.
Wally Wallman here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the...
Chew!
That's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinga,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback. And remember, you can always take us along with you. You're tuned into Feedback, a positive image production by Hood Research. And our guest this morning is Calvin Mann. And we have been listening to all of the positive work that's being done by his organization. What I'd like to ask Calvin is, when you talk about fathers and responsibilities and all, we have been hearing consistently that if our young children do not pass the 3rd grade, cannot read, there is a bed waiting for them in the prisons. And there is a number, by the way, with the Detroit Public School System for those who are interested in tutoring the children in reading. And the number is 313-873-7490. Again, the telephone number, if you're interested in helping the children learn to read, is 313-873-7490. 873-7490. In your organization with the fathers, how do they respond when you talk to them about mentoring and tutoring?
It scares. Men are very damaged, and that's why it's at the boy level. Men, we have a number of wrong philosophies. We're out of order. We have some very bad philosophies as men in this survival mindset, right? And so the one thing about reading, we have a reading program. I even got a children's book. We have a reading program we're going to launch called Reading is Life. When you talked about the 3rd grade reading level, they're already going at dismissing that. It has a lot of teeth in dismissing that law in Michigan, so they're getting ready to dismiss that. The work is at the home. That the reading level 3rd grade only says we failed at home if I can't read by the 3rd grade, and that's huge. And that's why I don't like the they mentality. It is we. We are responsible for preparing our children and our sons for education. We're responsible for that. So I know about the law. I know it's about to be changed, But I think more important, where the focus needs to be, because remember, you got to take this in consideration, that they said the most educated person in America is the black woman, right?
That's what they've said.
That's what they said, right?
Going to college.
She go to college, she do all that. Then why the black boy is in the position he's in at his reading level? Because 80% of these kids are in the hands of our women. And what has happened is because we buy into the trauma and the drama loop, we miss the important piece. We want to be friends with our children instead of preparing our children. And that's a flaw. And that's on we, not they.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's kind of sad to just to place the responsibility into one place, onto one person, etc. We've heard over centuries, I guess, that it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
And if we have single family homes, then we've got to wonder what happened to the village. You had in the book there, one of the books that Calvin Mann wrote, Mark.
Well, you got to take into consideration about the village as well, so that if 70% of the village is single, then the village is going to be damaged, because that's a mentality that will impact. It's the me, my, we, I. It's all selfish. That's all a single environment knows is itself. When you come up in a different environment, even in some cases a negative environment. I mean, there are some things out here, statistics that even show that the father, the single father, in some cases, having custody of the child match a two-parent household in teaching the child education and everything. We need to be working together, right, in that process. That is the village. The village is made up of we. We have 53,000 nonprofits in Michigan. 53,000. We have quite a few of them in the city. Our kids should be able to get up, go to school, walk into school, be educated, not fighting, not all that emotion, not smelling like weed, not concerned, eating hot chips for breakfast. This is a we thing. And when you talk about the boy, he's denied access to his father, not just because of the court system. He might have poor health. The dad might have died at 33, 34, heart attack, or we're not taking care of ourselves. He might have been shot, because this environment, we seem to think that that's okay, right? And so when you look at the makeup, look at all the trauma a kid has going into an educational facility, that is on we.
And you know, Mr. Broden, I don't want, like callers out there, I know this is, excuse me, I'm going to be honest with you, this is a tough one. Because we it's so prickly with us, dealing with the single mother household and dealing with the fact that the black father in the household, dealing with the child support piece, you name it. But we got to understand, we're dealing in a system here that created these environments for us. I don't care where you go in America, black people are living in poverty, they're struggling, the schools are underfunded, all the people pay the highest property tax, no matter where you go. So this isn't something we created. This is something the system created. But what we got to recognize is that, look, we got to battle this system by being better and understanding we all in this together. And when we fight all this, we got a lot of this intersectionalism out here. We got all this women over here, the men over here. You can see the division.
Yeah.
You can see that it's set up to divide us.
Yeah.
So it's contingent upon us to recognize when they coming at us. You can see it. Mm-hmm. And they done broke up the families. They gave the men nothing but drugs to sell. And let's just be honest, women was right there with them drug dealers, cooking up drugs, buying stuff with the drug money, clothes and bags and all. So it was like they set us all up. So you couldn't just blame the men for it, but they threw the men in jail, all of them. We had so many men in jail on drug offenses, Now they talking about, well, we might let them go. Some of them out, we can just drug, weed, and all this other stuff. 40% of black men, brother man, have a felony arrest. They might not all be in jail, but they got a felony on their record.
Oh, yeah, no question.
You can't get a job with a felony arrest. You can't get a government job.
Yeah.
And you sure going to have a hard time getting one in the private sector.
Well, when you know you are the target, you don't stand in the eye.
Exactly.
You know you're the target, right? And so that in my process, and when you talk about the drug dealing and all that, you was working for the feds anyway, because all that money you took out the community went straight to the feds when they busted you. So there were millions of money, drug dealers and all, right? That when they busted them, that money went right to the feds. So the feds knew where, who, what, when, where, and why, at what time. And so they capitalized on it. Then they put it on TV. They show you guns and drugs.
Right.
And so they conditioned racism even more against you. And then you hear these conversations. But let's go to the statistics, right?
Man.
Let's go where you hide at. Let's have the conversation where you hide at. Racism as a construct on its own, right? When you come to the table, you still come to the table with that racism.
That's it.
You can't. It's the same thing where if you breed racism, if you breed ignorance, if you breed illiteracy,
you eating them up now, Calvin. They calling now. They like the lines popping up. Let's get this call in right here. See who we got on the line. You on Feedback with Theo Broughton, Mark Cummings, and guest Calvin Mann today. How we doing and who are we talking with?
Tawana. Hi, everybody.
Happy Monday. Thanks for calling.
Yes, I'd like to ask your guest about mental illness or a lot of stress with the young people that he come involved with. And are any or has any been involved that he's dealing with been involved with the court system?
So we've been in touch with a couple of judges about that because they don't want to. They have very small contact with the court, and they don't want it to repeat. And the funding is not there to really access. There are some organizations who have funding who's trying to help and assist that. But we more in the prevention, and on the mental health side, we do a Smash Suicide campaign that we're taking national as we speak, where we put 9 billboards because black boys 5 to 11 are number 1 in suicide. And so the mental illness, there are a number of area resources. One of our partners is CNS Healthcare, which is a mental health care facility. And you can get in touch with CNS Healthcare. They're taking it all, doctors, whatever it is that is needed for the kid. It's like 7 or 8 of them throughout southeastern Michigan, majority of them in Wayne County and Detroit. But the mental illness begins from the absence of a parent. As soon as you remove a parent from a child's life, we begin a whole nother process. I've asked University of Michigan and Dr. David Pate out of Wisconsin if we could collaborate on a study, because something is happening to the child in the womb, specifically the male child in the womb, that is really causing havoc. And I'm saying the absence of that, because infant mortality is reduced to a very small thing when the father's involved with the child, right? But we have so many emotional people, and so when she was talking about the mental health piece, we have to jump on top of mental health. As in our mentoring program, we have, we will recommend, if we see it, out to CNS Health. That's why we have a partnership with CNS Healthcare. It's a good thing, and they helped us take them and Flynn Foundation helped us with our billboard campaign. So we did 9 billboards in 9 other cities.
Now, where's some of these billboards located? Because I know you got one. You had one right there at Wyoming Grand River, right?
Yeah, that was Wyoming Grand River is the highest area in the city of Detroit for suicides.
Wow.
That's why we set it there.
Oh, okay. And folks, if you've seen those billboards, call in and thank this brother. Because it ain't easy getting a billboard. Those things are expensive.
It ain't easy doing none of this work, brother,
Yeah, I
because
know.
it's so many adversaries and so many obstacles in the dances and the waltzes you have to do to even get close to the type of funding that you need to really escalate this. But we're getting there, and we're multiplying our partnerships, and things are happening with us.
Okay.
I have one more question.
Sure, go ahead, Twan.
Okay, there's a Brady group, and it's about controlling guns. I'd like to get your opinion on that part, and I'll hang up so I can listen.
You talking about James Brady, the guy that got shot with Ronald Reagan? He got shot in the head, and
but I'm more concerned about stopping the guns.
Right.
Well, the Brady law never got re-signed by George Bush and them. That's why you see so many of the semi-automatic weapons, those things. They didn't take those things. Remember, during George Bush era in England, they closed all the mental health facilities across the country, which created chaos in a lot of neighborhoods, and which creates even more problems. But the Brady law, I didn't see that get re-signed. As a matter of fact, that was a huge fight during George Bush, the last George Bush era, right along with the charter school. And the charter school systems have failed our children tremendously. Just in the makeup packet area, we failed our children tremendously. That's why our kids think they are laid back. You know, a kid at a certain charter schools, you could show up at the school 15, 20, 30 minutes later. You can't do that on the job. These are things that we handicap, right? The makeup packet, you can miss 40 days of school. They give you a makeup packet, and then somehow they report you got a C average. You see what I'm saying? When we went to school, 3 tardies was an absence. We make excuses on this truancy. That's another big issue, which can cause another issue around the mental health piece. This acceptable culture that it's okay to miss school is absolutely amazing to me. Even with the school being flawed in what it teaches at home, I mean, and the least you could get out of going to school every day was, you was going to work every day. And today, the businesses are suffering.
Right, they are.
They're suffering because of that No Child Left Behind Act, in my opinion. And anybody can debate me on that one any day, any time. The charter school system has failed America.
Sister Tawana, this brother has written some books, though. He brought some books in. They some great books. Calvin, man, we got 15 things you don't know about fatherhood. And I say on the first chapter here, what exactly is Kuvad syndrome?
Kuvad,
okay.
Kuvad syndrome is when the man get the symptoms.
Now, what symptom?
Throwing up, eating ice cream, pickles.
Well, like a woman?
Yeah, Kuvad. And a lot of people don't even understand that the man is so connected to the child that he picks up the symptoms from the woman. Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I'm telling you, anybody out there that's about to be a father or is a new father, this is your chance to call in and talk with Brother Calvin, man. Your father out there, Calvin, I'm going to take care of this book. And then whoever called in as a father, I'm going to make sure you get a copy of this book right here, 15 Things You Don't Know About Fatherhood, because you need to know these things. Things a father should say.
I wrote that for mothers with sons.
Okay.
It's a collection. All you got to do is open it up. I believe you got a quote in there somewhere.
Oh, okay. I'm on it. But we got some, it's a lot of quotes in here.
Right. It's from fathers.
Right.
Things fathers should say. It was a conversation that I had several times about fathers giving advice to mothers with sons.
I love this. Then you got all these pictures of these men in the book with their sons. Oh, this is really beautiful.
Yeah, there are a number of pictures.
I'm going to have to grab up a few copies of this and cut a check. Because we got to give these away to some folks. Because these are really
These are things that fathers should say. We have to reconnect our culture to the voice of the men. And the men have to be healthy and prepared. And that takes redirecting how we see each other, how we work with each other. And that's going to take some serious work. But in the preventive work, the young men that's coming up now, maybe we can get in the path and redirect them so they'll understand their role as a man, husband, and father.
Let me go one of the quotes in here for us, Mr.
Okay.
Blue. Perseverance is powerful. There is no substitute for hard work. Brother Keith Collins. You got to get out there and do this work, guys.
Yeah, Keith just signed up to be a Good Fathers Only.
All right. That's what I'm talking. Matter of fact, let the gentlemen know they can join Good Fathers Only and get involved. What do they have to do?
Oh, they can go to goodfathersonly.com, download the application, or they can, reach out to 313-638-3649, or leave a message at goodfathersonly.com. We'll get in touch with them. But we most definitely could use some men with, because we got a few ideas that we want to put out here to help fathers, and it's hard to find. Hey Mark, I'm waiting on the city to give me a location for $1 for 99 years.
They need to.
Like they seem to be giving to these other folk. You know what I mean? Like we just give away buildings if they don't look like it's a giveaway land. If they don't look like you, they serious about you not coming up. You know what I mean? But I would love for that to happen, for somebody to call the phone and tell me they got a building. Give it to me. I don't care if it ain't got no windows on it.
Speaking of giving you a bill, Tim, run that piece with Brother Man there, because he got something to say to you folks out there. We got some video for you, and thank God we got one of the best engineers in the business, Brother Tim Smith, because he's one of the best people, and he makes sure this show runs smoothly down here.
Parents, you have to understand that you play a major role in the environment of championship football, championship basketball, and championship life. Parents, your involvement is key. The part you play is incredible, and it must be consistent and valued. Your parent involvement echoes deeply into the child's performance. You cannot negate your responsibility as parents in the championship. You cannot negate. I'm going to give you a jewel that a lot of us don't know and didn't know about fatherhood. When a child has his father from birth to 9, the child lives longer. That is an ingredient that comes with the father. So if you know a father that's not participating, has not participated, have him get in touch with me. We can put him up on some real game about what fatherhood and how important he really is to his kids. And for anybody that's denying access to his father, you're hurting the child. The child, your work must start at home. Chores. Mamas, daddies, stop doing everything for these kids. They have to do chores. They have to learn to cook. It is mandatory that your son, at least at the age of 8, start learning to cook something, because we all are not guaranteed these moments. Anything can happen. So we must teach our kids to take care of themselves. The other part besides chores, homework. I don't know no athlete, as Kay just came up here and spoke about having grades, and give you some real jewels about taking care of your business and having alternative routes. I know, but the most important thing you need to know, good grades are demanded, period. Any of y'all skipping out on reading, math, science, any of that, your football, it's going to be hard for you to listen to a coach. Bad grades mean bad ears. Again, all ingredients count. Coaches,
As a mentor, you must guide them and teach them as an extension of the family. We have far too many young men who are not properly guided by the example in front of them. They should not be exposed to things that has a negative influence in front of the athlete. Give him honesty, integrity, and accountability. If you cannot be an accountable man, get from in front of these kids, because it's not good. It's not good for him to see an example, Brother Tim, on the streets that he see on the sideline coaching. We cannot be showing that example. It's very, very tough, because you create more problems for the culture, and you create more problems for the future, and you develop bad things which lead to bad families and bad results. So you got to be accountable as mentors. In our mentoring program, there is no fraternizing.
We are back. Yes.
Now, where was that?
I was in at a sports banquet. Little league football team. One of my guys is coaching over there, and he brought me in.
What team was that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I can't remember the name. Well, you know, you're getting up there, so you can't always remember the name. But they're out there in
but they
Westland.
were a good team.
They were a good team, right? And Antoine, who's brought me out there, grew up with my son.
Okay.
And I know his family, his aunties, and I coached his cousins, and you know, so you know, he called and asked me to come in. He worked our football camp last year. Yep.
And you know, Miss Brown, sports is a conduit, really, for men to connect with these young kids out here.
Yeah, I'm really looking to get back. That's why I want my own facility. I'm really looking to get back, to give back. My brother is the head coach at Grand Valley, and my cousin is the head coach at Western Michigan. Okay. And they were the first two young men I coached at the age of 20. That's when I started. And they're seeing in the athlete what we're talking about.
Now, with the men that you are counseling now, do you give them suggestions as to what they should do? Do you assign them projects or responsibilities or something that they should do?
So, as far as the men, we use fathers for our mentoring program. We ask any man who signs up to be a part of Good Fathers Only. Some men just need to get out. They need to vent. A lot of men have been under so much self-abuse, television abuse, verbal abuse, that they don't know how to necessarily function. So we targeted dads to be mentors, because it takes 12 mentors to equal one father. And so any man that decides to get involved, they go through a background check and everything to be around our kids. The thing that we are really thriving in is our boss, building our sons, where we have every 2 weeks we have boss sessions in our mentoring program for the mothers.
Okay, before you go any further, Tim said we got to get to a break, Miss Brew.
Okay. Here we are. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in to Feedback. And call somebody, tell them to tune in as well. And our guest this morning is Calvin Mann, and we will be back momentarily.
This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit ombudsman. I am here to address all of your complaints and concerns. If you need assistance regarding city services, please contact my office at 313-224-6000 or contact us via email at ombudsman@detroitmi.gov. This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit ombudsman.
You ready to put your podcast on iHeartRadio? Yes, your podcast on iHeartRadio. What about Alexa, Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, Android, or iPhone? Plus live TV streaming. Get your podcast seen and heard all over the world. Call 313-868-6612. Pre-recorded shows are accepted to be archived. This is a WHPR distribution platform. Download the app from the App Store. Go to WHPRTV.com. Channels available for lease 24/7 on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV. Coming soon, subscription and pay-per-view.
Also,
Block time is available. Get yours. Call 313-868-6612. That's 313-868-6612. Executive producer R.J. Watkins. Program director Henry Tyler. 107.5 FM WGPR HD2. RadioWeCanSee.com.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
All right, everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, you gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime! It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Warmer.
Wally Warmer here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the
chew
that's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only. You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit.
WGPR Detroit HD2.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinda,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback. And we are back with our guest this morning, Calvin Mann. He's doing great work in our community and particularly in the area of our males. We know that there is a need for them to be taught about our culture. We know that there is a need to let them know that they are God's child, to let them know that they need to learn as much as they can, want to learn as much as they can, and work together. Because the statement, it takes a village to make work to raise a child, is true. Calvin, man, thank you this morning. Tell us about some of the requests you have of the men that you work with.
Well, just get involved, right? Grab. I tell men all the time, when he steps out, father. It's particularly fathers. It takes 12 mentors to equal one father. And so when a father steps out on his porch, his job is to govern everything as far as he can see to the right and everything as far as he can see to the left. So I should know what's going on with the kids that's going to play with my kids. I should know how I can help impact that child's life, considering the circumstances that's surrounding this kid. We have to give them boys a direction and a chance. The young man that you saw on Channel 7, JoJo, when JoJo came into our program, and we've had hundreds of them, he was emotional. Now JoJo 12 literally is leading this school in several areas, and he's in the Birmingham school system. His academics is on fire. Why do they constantly keep him in the program? Well, it's because we're imparting fatherhood wisdom.
Still learning.
He's still learning. And so by the time JoJo hit 14 and hit the 9th grade, he will be like the Raheem and Kamari Anderson boys, my sons and the boys that aged out, where they're not a problem in school. They're actually learning and leading, which is why we call it future leaders. Where a child goes when they leave us, our job is to prepare them. Right? And so that's what we do in our mentor program, which is why I want to get back to my 200s and my 300s. So now we are taking 200 and 300 boys and we're putting them back in the system with these things that we've taught them. And now other programs can benefit from the boys that were in our program.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so the school can benefit, the home can benefit. Our boys are cooking. We got boys cooking whole meals because it's part of the 14 weeks. You got to go and prepare something for your parents, your mama, your daddy. You got to show them, right? You got to seek the information and then put it on display, right? And we got a sponsor, Ed Life Consultants, is sponsoring our boys. At the end of our program, each boy earns a jacket that says ME Future Leader. So we got some real nice jackets. This is the first time someone sponsored the jackets for our boys. So our boys gonna get a very studious jacket, and you got to live up to that, right? And that's the part. And then the other part is helping the parent understand that he can't go back into the same environment. So the parent, she and he, the dad, we bring the dads the first Monday every month, right? And so he and she have to get on the same page, so the environment is not the same. It's tough to change a family environment in 14 weeks. So when they repeat the sessions and they start consistently getting that work, then suddenly the change starts happening. And we always extend to the parent, when they leave our program, put them in something else so it could pad the information that they just learned, because new information can bring you new results.
Definitely.
I have an issue with the information that I learned about the 5 police officers who are African American who killed the young man in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yes.
And the part of the problem is 3 of the 5 were members of a fraternity.
Okay.
The fraternity is supposed to, I'm told, work for good, show the members as upstanding and of good character, etc. But these 3 police officers who were members of the fraternity killed that young man, right? And they have practices, as I understand, all of them do, for hazing. And it seems to me that within the practice of hazing, where you show how brutal you can be to the young pledges coming in, just carried on with them in the police department. So the concern I have now is that the fraternities and sororities who showed a lot of leadership by going out, renting out many movie theaters across these United States so that our young black students could go in and see the Black Panther movie free of charge, are not monitoring what their members are doing. And 1, I think hazing has to stop. And 2, they need to get involved in the community with the young people at the school and collaborate with your organization as an example.
Well, they are. To be honest with you, they removed them young men from their fraternity. The other thing that occurred, there are a number of fraternities doing mentoring programs and having success at doing those mentoring programs. We have a very serious level.
The baker right there.
I'm telling you.
It's all that love
Everything
flowing
goes
today.
well, and then all of a sudden.
Hey, Tim.
Go ahead.
We were talking earlier about this Smash Suicide campaign, folks.
Mm-hmm.
And, the main thing is, like you were saying about those officers, we got a lot of stressors. And, they come out different ways.
Mm-hmm.
But we got a video, folks, we want you to see, put together by Calvin, man. We going to smash this suicide in our community, folks. Because we don't need this.
You got to.
Keep your mental health right. Tim, run that for us.
Hey, have you heard about Encourage Me on Young Smash Suicide campaign?
No, I have not. What is it about?
They're raising awareness about boys in suicide age 5 to 11.
Boys 5 to 11? What do you mean?
We have to share the information so parents know to look out for their sons.
So you are saying, to be clear, that black boys 5 to 11 are dying by suicide?
I am saying males from 5 to 80 are number 1. They're just focusing on the prevention, which starts at age 5.
We must share this so parents can get help.
Here's how you can get help. Call 988 immediately. Visit cnshealthcare.org for mental health care services. Visit MEworld.com to get involved. Encourage Me, I'm Young.
Parents, you have to understand that you play a major.
There we go.
Oh, all right. All right. Well, we don't.
We're getting it together.
Yeah. While he's setting that up, we just wanted to hear you talk more about the young men and how they are faring since they've been participating in your program.
Our boys are doing well. When the buy-in that we seek in our mentoring program is in totality from the family, the kid, the family, the whole nine, right? So we only had one bad situation, and hopefully we can get that one together. But since we've been doing this work, our boys, they either take off, they come back and learn more and take off. We got kids in college doing their thing. We have the leadership piece is so important to the boy. When you match that with his natural conditioning and understanding that he has this wisdom that is, this protection that he speaks. Little boys would tell his sister, back up, because we can see things differently. There is a difference between men and women, and we have to acknowledge both.
Good. Yeah.
And, you know, yeah, go ahead and run that, Tim. It ain't number a couple of minutes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Emotion spilled into the street near the house where the little girl's body was discovered. Action News reporter.
There comes a time when you can't tell no more lies. The child that you love can see it in your eyes. Over and over, you continue with this man. Your child is under a lot of pressure, and we all have lots of stress. Encourage me, I'm young. Encourage me, I'm young. Won't you stay right by my side? I'm young. Encourage me, I'm young. Encourage me, I'm young. Take my hand and be my guide. Please be my guide. Mother and father, we must take a strong stand and lead one another to the promised land. They'll see you. Time and time we wonder what will happen to a man. What will happen to a man? The more we stay in the direction we lead, we follow the devil's plan. Yeah. Encourage me, I'm young. Encourage me, I'm young. Won't you stay right by my side? I'm young. Encourage me, I'm young. Encourage me, I'm young. Take my hand and be my guide. Please be my guide. Can you help me? I can't hear you. Please help me. I wanna be near you. You may not wonder the choices that you made. When you come home late at night, you shouldn't be seen as fake. They'll see you. Time you spend, it's the time you lose. It's time you will abuse. So take your child's side. Take my baby's side. Because time you cannot lose. Encourage me, I'm young. Encourage me, I'm young. Won't you stay right by my side? I'm young. Encourage me, I'm young. Encourage me, I'm young. Take my hand and be my guide. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, whoa. Don't take no more, my baby. Don't wanna lose no more. Don't take no more, my baby. Don't wanna lose no more.
We are back. We hope that you have had an opportunity to learn from watching the videos that have been provided regarding some of the work that is being done by Calvin Mann and his organization. You know, There's so much that needs to be done. There's so much that has been done. Now, if someone wants to work with your organization, what do they do?
Go to emmyworld.com and send a message. We are always looking for volunteers. We're starting to get some, even more. We've been able to survive with the volunteer base, but we're looking to get to a level, like I said, our own facility, building, and so we can implement our solution or our services.
You got a fundraiser coming up now.
This Saturday, we have our pancake breakfast. This is our 10th annual pancake breakfast. We bring information to the community. Kirk Mays is our CEO of Forgotten Harvest, former CEO of Forgotten Harvest. He's the keynote speaker. We have Shadora Ford, Destined for Greatness mentoring program for girls. We have Dr. Valanda Anderson, who will be talking about.
Had her on a few times.
She'll be talking about the health.
Make the vegan cakes.
And Reverend Willie Berry of Willie Berry Ministries will talk about finances. And our boys will be serving the community. That's their community service project. So we also are catered by Phoenix to Catering and the Pancake King. So our boys will be serving the community. So they'll be waiting on.
Where is it going to be located?
At Rosedale Park Baptist Church, 14179 Evergreen, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. You will love the atmosphere.
How much are the tickets?
$20.
Okay, folks. This is the build up. Encourage me. I'm young. Good fathers only, folks. $20. And I've been the last breakfast I was at. Yeah, Gail Perry Mason there.
Yo, she really did a great job, and it's I have a few favorites. That's one of them. Of these 10 last 10 pancake, because Z Pace, who helped start Thaw, she was the one that taught us. So she did the pancake breakfast at St. Cecilia for years. She was a St. Cecilia church member. She the one taught me, our organization, how to do the pancake breakfast. Our first one was on Chicago and Linwood.
What about that?
At the Salvation Army.
How about you get the calls coming in, Miss Brody? They always call at the last minute over here.
Go ahead.
Yes, indeed. You all feedback with Mr. Calvin Man, Theo Bro, Mark Cummings. Talk to us.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
We're doing wonderful. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you all. I am calling because I'm looking at one of Mr. Mann's shirts that I've had for a really long time. The quote is, "A person never stood so tall until they've stooped to help a child. Encourage me, I'm young.
I need that picture.
Even I buy clothing."
I need that picture.
You need a picture of the shirt?
Of you in the shirt.
I can do that.
Thank you.
Who we talking with?
This is the Silver Stallion.
All right now. You know what? Just for calling in, take my number down right now. 313-510-1250. We're going to get one of these books, Compliments of Encourage Me, I'm Younger Brother Calvin Mann. Now, which one would you like here? We got quite a few here. Calvin Mann depends a lot of work. We got Oba and
Yes,
Lucy.
I know. I've been following him.
Ah.
That shirt is really old. So,
Now, do you have any of his books?
No, I don't have any books.
Okay.
So this will be my first one. I have some young men that need to be in his organization as well. So I'll be calling you. I've taped the program, so I know everything that's going on with him. I know, everything. I can tell by Theo's face she knows who I am, don't you?
Well, you got one of these books coming. I'm going to call you later on. I'm going to take your number in, and we're going to get this book out to you.
Okay,
Calvin, you want to say anything to this lady here?
I need my picture.
Okay.
In the shirt. I need that. I wish I could get a. Please. I wish it.
ASAP.
How does it make you feel? Because I really, our new tagline for Emmy Apparel when we launch is dedicated to legacy. It's Emmy Apparel dedicated to legacy.
Wow.
And that T-shirt that you're talking about, right? It has a great story to go along with that T-shirt. So yeah, I need that. I need that picture.
Okay.
And I will give you another T-shirt for you sending me that picture.
Oh, that'd be fabulous. Yes. Okay, I got you.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. And
Thank
you'll be getting
you.
a call from me in probably about an hour or so. Thank you for checking in.
All right.
All right.
Love you, black people.
We love you
Love
too.
you. Thank
All
you
right.
for checking in on feedback. Miss Bro, they loving Calvin Man this morning.
Yes.
That's right.
We love it.
Calvin Man is the man.
She's doing a commercial for you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
We only got 9 minutes left, Miss
Okay.
Bro, in the show. And,
Tell us the titles of the books.
the book. Well, we got Ober and Luther, The Adventures of Ober and Luther.
Which we're launching the second edition of that June 2023.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it is about just briefly.
So Ober and Luther is a story of friends. When I put this together, strategic, the wise mole's name is Abu. Abu means father of.
Okay.
Every character has both parents in the book, and they go on an adventure every day.
Okay.
And the wise mole is always shifting and changing. This book cover that's coming up next, he's in a toga. And we give history about, he shares about anything that he wears. This one, he's in the kufi, right? So he's in the kufi, the whole nine. So we explain all of that. And then when you talk about, we use the children's book characters in our Smash Suicide campaign.
Right. What's the next book?
And Just Ask Two.
Just Ask
Journal
Two.
For your journey.
Just Ask Two.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a journal I did one journal called Just Ask. Two, it's a journal for, people, young people to, there's affirmations and it's a simple format.
You just write down what you're going through.
What you're going through.
What's the next
hold on.
book?
Well, we did the other two already.
Things Father should say and 15 things.
Right, okay.
Now, we got the breakfast coming up this Saturday, folks. Get a ticket. Get in touch with Calvin Man. Get that number again.
313-638-3649 and Emmy World, EMIY World.com. But let me share before we get out of here. The Smash Suicide campaign was launched because in 2018, while preparing for Respect Day, we do a Respect Day, that we recognized this link popped up on my computer, and it said Black Boys 5 to 11 were number one. And so I had already had information about males, right? But we were just really getting in deep. And when we saw it, no one was there. But we were hearing the conversations about the 10 to 24s, the 14 to 24s, the 15 to 24s, the 13 to 30s. There was no conversation about the boys 5 to 11. So for us, for me, I just couldn't sit back, right? And because in my 37 years of work, never lost a boy to suicide, never lost a girl to suicide. A friend of mine recently, her daughter, a classmate, passed away from died by suicide.
What?
Right? Yeah.
The mother?
Young girl, the mother's daughter, her daughter,
okay.
died by suicide.
Okay.
Right? Life can get heavy, but we had this formula, and this formula has worked for me throughout my 37 years of doing this work, probably 38, because I keep forgetting I was 19 when I went to and worked the Special Olympics. That was one of my biggest triggers. I was 19 when I worked Special Olympics.
Okay.
That I needed to do something, right? So in that
formula.
process, the suicide piece is we're smashing suicide with encouragement, right? And that's the formula. There was a 40-year study. The best way to raise a child is encouragement. One of the things that we have to do across the board is we have to reprogram our words. Remember what I said earlier. We had 350 boys, not one fight. Now, we have murder right, at an alarming rate, gun usage and all, right? In most cases, it's because, one, it's words. It's how we use our words. It's what our words are directed to, right? So in the other component, when we had 350 boys, our number one rule was you couldn't use the N-word in the building, right? In our mentoring program today, that's still our number one rule. That's it. Right? And so in that case, in our program, the boy governs the words, and then we pour in more words. A lot of times, our words are self-defeating and can cause harm. A 5-year-old taking his life at 5 is unheard of. But in the research, he's doing, he's hanging himself, or suffocation, right? They don't want to put pills on it, but they put pills on everything else. But we giving these babies ADHD medicine.
We got 4 minutes. Yeah, we're going to shut it down because we so much to talk about. I'm telling you. Folks,
4 minutes?
I'm so glad you was here.
Man, that went too slow, man.
An hour and a half just went whoop.
But tell us your birthday.
I am a Virgo. I was born September 14th, 1965.
And you also got something coming up at Charles H. Wright in March. What's the
March 25th, we're bringing a generation of fathers. This will be our third one. We have a number of fathers across the board coming together to share information with young fathers. There was a challenge issue that the young father was better than the older father, and so we had our first one. Our first two were at U of M. This one will be at Charles H. Wright. It's open to the public. And you'll learn some new stuff about men.
Everybody gonna see this on the re-up at YouTube on the site. What's it, September 25th?
September 14th.
14. Where my head at? I'm all over the place. 14.
It's gonna say you're an incredible person.
It really is. A. Philip Randolph and Leontine Price on your birthday. Were awarded the Medal of Freedom by President Lyndon Johnson. How about that, brother?
Lyndon Johnson created the Food Stamp Act and the Juvenile Act, which is still intact. Lyndon Johnson was the devil.
Oh, there we go, folks. Now, on this day in 1990, Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey, this is father and son. I'm telling you, baby. And Ken Griffey Jr., the Seattle Mariners, they was batting third and fourth. They both hit back-to-back home runs. The first time in the history that father and son duo hit back-to-back home runs, brother. Father and son on your birthday, brother. Encourage me. I'm young, been doing great work. Miss Broden, take us home.
Well, you know, at Hood Research, we always say it's not necessary for you to know everything. What is necessary is for you to know how to find what you need when you need it. And we at Hood Research seek out as much information as we can to share with you and encourage you to call in and to share with us. Each Saturday we have a conference call, which is from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. The telephone number is on our website, Facebook page, etc. And we're on again at Saturday, 3 p.m. until 6. We have speakers. We encourage you to call in and share with us. The number for Hood Research is area code 248-234-2371. Again, it's area code 248-234-2371. You can contact us by email, which is contact@hoodresearch.org. Again, that's CONTACT, the little @ symbol, HOODRESEARCH.org. We have a website, we have Facebook, we have Twitter. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter. Share your comments in those spaces as well. And Kelvin, man, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me. This was wonderful. Thank you.
It's been a beautiful Black History Month, people. We shutting it down. Got Women's Month next month, Miss Broden. And as always, you know, feedback. We're going to have the guest.
All right. Enjoying us. And thank you for being with us today. See you next Monday.
Encourage me. I'm young, folks.
Peace.
Feedback. Feedback. Feedback.
Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinda.
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback, feedback, feedback.